Who can forget the sounds of the 60s?
The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now, there's Marching Through Georgia, the exciting new album by Billy Webster. All of your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. Such hits as Gary Owens, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, All Quiet Along the Potomac Tonight, Marching Through Georgia, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to billysongs.com and order your digital download of Billy Webster's Marching Through Georgia today. That's billysongs.com.
It's not going to be great on this, but it's too nice a day out, and it might be the last nice day we have till spring.
Wow, that's doom and gloom. You know it's going to be better. We're not even November, Halloween, you know.
It never gets better as you get closer to the end of the year. It always gets worse. Then you get to the beginning of the year.
Where's the Matt I knew? This doom and gloom, like, oh, today might be the best day we ever had.
Till the end of time. You never know. You want to put those headphones on so you can hear.
Hear what?
Ourselves in relation to the other.
What other what?
Person in the room. Okay, there you are, putting them on there. See?
Oh yeah, I hear you like you're right in my ear.
There's camera there. So.
Oh, I look.
You look like you're.
Where's the
camera? I don't know what you look
dude?
like.
Where's the camera?
It's right in front of you.
That's a camera?
Yeah.
Oh, there. I'll be square off to it.
Yeah.
Here, I got to put that right in my face. There. Is that good?
There you go.
Testing.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to get you doing an ID like that. But
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
No.
But with my name?
Your name.
Hi, this is Joseph Fuqua.
Hold on a second.
Do it again. Hi. I don't want to do that. Hi, this is Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua.
Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua. Hi, it's Joseph Fuqua.
Hello, I'm Joseph Fuqua.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
And you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg with Matt Callery.
There is no time.
There's no time.
I have told you there is no time for that.
Generally, sir.
There is no time.
Time.
There is no time.
You know who that time sounds like?
Rolling Stones.
Why don't you wait for it?
Oh, sorry. Who, Joseph? Who do they sound like?
Sounds like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh.
Time, why don't you come?
Oh, that one. So I thought you were doing Time is on my side.
Did Hootie do that?
No, the Stones did that. That's why I said the Stones.
I know, but I was going Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well, you were going a little too hard on Hootie.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that. A little too hot on Hootie.
Don't go hot on Hootie. All right, let's start something here.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of Addressing Gettysburg. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to have fun on this one. Purely fun. No history, maybe history. Who knows? We don't know where it's going to go. But I just finished a day-long bender with an old guest of ours, a friend of ours who was a guest on the show before via phone, and now happens to be here in person. And I said, hey, well, why don't you come into the studio and we'll do another interview, because all we've been doing all day is just having a laugh riot. And some Mexican food.
Yeah.
And so now, all I'm saying is do not hold me accountable for anything any one of us say here. This is all in fun. And frankly, if you're listening with the kids, send them somewhere else.
Well, It could go clean.
But what's the fun in going clean, though? I think it would be more fun to go au natural. Anyway, here he is with his dog in a papoose, Joseph Fuqua. Hello, Joseph. Played Jeb Stuart in the movie Gettysburg and Gods and Generals. Hello, Joseph. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Thanks.
Now, who do we got in the papoose there? Let's hold her up a little bit so we could see her, if you don't mind.
Oh, right. This is my one-eyed
Your
dachshund, Paisley.
Paisley.
I got her when she already had the eye removed. I actually got her when she had her stitches in her eye. I did not do this.
So
it was what's called an abscess behind the eye. Had to be removed, and she is a retired breeding dam, rather than say the word that rhymes with bitch. That is the word.
That is the word.
So she's a mini, long-haired, dappled dachshund, and the breeder has American Kennel Club but you have to have smaller litters to have the puppies be viable minis. So as the breeding dam gets older, they might have smaller litters with larger puppies. So she'd had 2 litters of puppies, and then the third litter were only 2 puppies, and they were big. So they were tweenies. So they put the breeding dams out to pasture and put them up for adoption. So I got my dachshund Bonnie, short-haired red brindle. Right. And then she passed away. I didn't have anything to do with that. It was an accident. And then I got Paisley.
So did you name her Paisley?
No, I did not name her. I wouldn't, and I probably wouldn't have named Bonnie, but I think it's unlucky to rename boats for dogs.
I agree.
Probably children, too.
Probably anything that's already named you should not rename. Well, that's not true.
I mean, if it was...
It's a school. You could rename schools.
Yeah, if the school has... I mean, I don't want to get political.
No.
Say the school is
Adolf Hitler Elementary School.
Why did you ruin it? I was going to do that. I was going to go another naming all the Robert E. Lee places.
Exactly.
Probably the General Jeb Stuart breezeway, connecting the middle school and the high school, And he only got a breezeway named after him because he, died early.
Yeah, he didn't make it to the end of the war.
He didn't make it to the end.
Yeah.
So he couldn't write or help write his history. He was just a victim. And apparently I talked to, who was the guy I talked to? Wonderful historian.
Gary? Tim Smith.
Tim Smith. Wow. Mm-hmm. He knew everything. And he told me a lot of what history and the stories post the Civil War got wrong about Jeb Stuart is that we don't know whether Robert E. Lee
yelled at him,
read him the riot act, or yelled at him when he went into the headquarters or not. We just know that he went in and then he came out.
Right. And I think he said that he... somebody said, Chris Gwynn, who was the Park Service ranger who was with us, he said that Stuart went and told his aide, Henry B. McClellan, the gist of the conversation. And so we have an inkling of an idea of what it was about, but there's no verbatim dialogue that was recorded.
Right. And according to Tim Smith, and I think Chris is a great guy, and he's he's a park ranger, and I love what he does. But Tim Smith would disagree and probably have a fist fight.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Because evidently there are no reports of the conversation. So whatever Chris says that this aide de camp of Stuart's reported to whomever, maybe the lunch lady at the cafeteria when, he got a snack. I don't know, but...
What I find fascinating is that you said aide de camp instead of aide de camp like every other American would. Where are you from? Are you French? What is going on? Aide de camp. I've never heard anybody say
well, that's what you're supposed to say. I wouldn't say like the English would say Don Juan rather than say Don Juan. You can say Don Juan. Yeah, so it's aide de camp. And I know
is that how the French say it? Odd? Instead of aide?
Yeah.
They say odd. They pronounce it odd.
Now you're making me feel plume. It's some weird American pronunciation.
Well, how do they say it?
It's odd.
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 Odd de
It's
camp.
not Germanic. It's odd de camp.
Odd
You
de
say
camp.
it quickly and you don't get caught
Right.
being a douche.
Yes.
That's how you
Odd
do
de
it.
camp.
Odd de camp. Well, you
Odd de
don't
camp.
be like when people go, I'll have a croissant.
Yeah,
You know,
that drives me nuts.
that
I had
drives me crazy.
My cousin. One time I went to an Italian like deli with my cousin, and we're not. I mean, she has no Italian blood. I'm half Italian, half Irish. She doesn't, and we go into this place, and she goes up and orders, and she's like, "Yeah, can I have a chicken cutlet sandwich with fresh mozzarella on it?" And I was behind her, and I cringed. I don't even think the Italians say it that way. That's what annoyed me.
I'm sure she made that face too.
Mozzarella.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's mozzarella.
yeah, and she did the thing with her hands. You know, chicken cutlet with fresh mozzarella.
Yeah, cringeworthy.
And I went up and made a point to say mozzarella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so she could hear that.
Actually, I went up
the normal.
Yeah, exactly. I want her to hear how it's supposed to be said in these United States.
In these United States.
Yeah. You go to Italy and say-
Des États-Unis.
Okay, is that French too?
Yeah. These States United.
Was that your French? French was your language in school?
Mais oui, bien sûr.
Oh wow, that sounds great.
No, it's all. My father was a linguist, so he spoke French, Portuguese.
Was he cunning?
Was he cunning?
A cunning linguist?
Oh, I see what you're going.
Yes.
No, he was. He would take the knife and he'd fillet. No, he wouldn't show. I got nothing.
Wait, no.
No, see, I could have kept it clean, but you bait.
I know.
Me to go into.
I know.
That I
listen. I gave everybody a warning, so
yeah, but
buyer
to
beware.
be fair, I wanted this to be the one that people could hear.
Oh, you want
Not
this
that
to be the classy one?
Well,
Okay,
they're
well,
all
we could do classy.
Listen, I say odd to comp.
I know. How do you get classier than that?
How do you get? That's the thing. My father was a classy. He was a retired general. He knew how to say things, but he was still a man's man.
Right.
But he wouldn't, because he knew better. He would never deign to dumb it down. So I know that it's odd to comp, so I'm going to say odd to comp.
I see, but I like that. All jokes aside, I like that attitude. Like, no, this is it. It's not an or an English word. It's a French word or phrase or whatever.
Yeah, aide de camp.
Aide de camp.
And even though it's Versailles, Indiana, you
Right.
would say it's Versailles.
It's Versailles, Indiana. There's
Maybe he wouldn't do that because that would be impolite. My father was a very polite man.
Well,
if someone was from Versailles, he would say not say, "Oh, it's Versailles," because that would be douchey.
But he would take you aside later and say,
Yes,
It's Versailles,
named
not
after
Versailles.
Versailles,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Versailles. And Lafayette County, and not Lafayette.
"Oh yeah, that drives me nuts." There's a lot of words that what is it? Joliet?
Illinois.
Yeah, I think so. Or somewhere else. I don't know. There's a couple of French words where even I know. I'm like, this is not how you say it. Like here, we pronounce them differently, but I'm like, oh, this is not really the way.
But there's something about that. That's the thing that I mentioned earlier about the English saying Don Juan and not Don Juan.
Right.
That seems more douchey than,
Well, I think
normal.
I think every culture should take a foreign word and pronounce it the way they would pronounce it in their native language. I mean, not in their own language. So if we say Joliet instead of Joliet or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be,
there's some that are harder. That are more cringeworthy than others.
Yeah.
For someone to say, it's like, oh, I go to Joliet High School. It would be, oh, no, you don't.
Well, but did you ever watch like the news? And then like they're speaking in their non-regional diction, right? And then they have to say
Mid-Atlantia.
Yes, right. And they have to say a Hispanic name, and then suddenly the accent comes out, and then they go back to non-regional diction. Doesn't it sound stupid?
Well, I think there's two schools of thought. Because
Okay.
There's the way a name is pronounced, because I have a friend who's the head of a acting program in North Carolina, and he is paid an hourly wage, because he rather likes doing it. He wouldn't have to be, to say all the names correctly at graduation. So he reads 1,200 names, graduating class of University of North Carolina, Pembroke. And he says he rehearses and then writes out the phonetics in every name so that every parent hears their name read correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think some guy at lunch, I forgot what his name was, Gary.
Yeah.
So Gary Edelman. He's used to Adele Mann and everything. And he said his
Alderman,
wife, who was last name was Dangle, changed her name to Edelman so that she wouldn't have Dangle.
Right.
And then she's been cursed with people mispronouncing Edelman.
Right, exactly.
Alderman, people add other letters. And there's nothing worse, especially if you work 4 years for a degree or, no, that's not my name. This is my name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Don Juan is dead. So who cares whether...
That's true. But
you
there's
say
plenty
Don
of
Juan.
Juans out there.
Oh, here you go again.
Okay.
Right. But you're absolutely right. So there's not doing the proper placement of the tongue so you don't make the sound. You don't have to go that far.
Right.
But it's Don Juan, not Don Juan. And you don't have to go Don Juan. You don't have to go full on. I'm going to have the exact placement of my tongue and emulate the proper sound as if I were a Spaniard or a Mexican speaking.
You know what else bothers me about the English? The way
Besides
they pronounce
what?
Jaguar.
Oh, Jaguar? What do they say?
Jaguar.
Oh, Jaguar. That's crazy.
And then I hear Americans doing it because they want to go and buy a Jaguar. And
they
it's
sound
just
stupid.
douchey.
Oh, it sounds really stupid.
What a douche.
Or if someone says that they're going to take the lift, and you mean
the
car service, you mean the elevator.
Right.
Surely.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, and I've never met her. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. But Madonna, who lived in England and then suddenly has that English accent.
She lived there for 20 minutes. She was married to Guy Ritchie for 2 years, and then suddenly she's English by injection. And it doesn't mean you're going to be accented.
No, it's affected. That's the difference. I think that's the thing. My father didn't like
Phoniness.
William F. Buckley. Hated his accent because it was mannered. It was a professional mannered, so he didn't talk like that in real life. But when he got on, so it was the pretension and it rubbed it the wrong way.
I know what you mean. I saw there's on YouTube. There's a clip of him and Gore Vidal going at it on some TV show.
Oh, and it's the pretentious off.
Oh,
both
yeah.
of them seem
they're both
wildly
obnoxious
pretentious and very, very. Smart men, superior minds.
Yes,
but that doesn't pretentious doesn't mean you can. I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental about anything. It's just when it rubs you the wrong way, and that could be my father's voice. Where you have your parents' prejudice in some small way.
Absolutely, but I think in the case of those two men, I am totally with you. Like It was so cringy to listen to these two. I call them auto fart smellers. People who love the smell of their own farts, and they think that nothing they do is bad. Yes, and they're sitting there arguing with each other, but they're vicious. Like some of the things they're saying to each other are vicious, but they're doing it with those haughty ways of speaking.
Haughty.
Yes, thank you.
Love that word.
And
that's it. It is. There's a haughtier.
It's haughty.
Yes,
it's a haughty arrogance. And William F. Buckley, though, I think is the worst offender out of those two, because it's almost like a British accent, like what people in like the New England upper crust would, or New York society people, they'd put that phony, highfalutin British accent on, or whatever the hell it is.
Well,
it's not even British accent. It's like a weird.
Well, it used to be at drama school. They sort of were teaching us. I mentioned earlier, sounding like you're from Mid-Atlantia.
Yes.
So everyone sort of this 1930s movie star,
right?
Where your region is Eastern Seaboard, upper crust, but there was a culture, the cultured tone. So there was, it was cohesive. So, and that at drama schools for probably from the 1970s through 2015, they liked for Americans to be able to have these pure sounds that weren't English, they were American sounds.
Right.
So that when you did Shakespeare or when you did Ibsen or when you did Chekhov, you didn't sound regional. And like the Royal Shakespeare Company, everyone has received pronunciation. Most everyone speaks like the British royal family or an aristocrat.
Okay.
Unless that's your status, your high status. You had servants. But a servants class would have a Cockney accent,
Right.
or a Northern or Yorkshire, some accent that was regional rather than this pure British sound. And that's what the Mid-Atlantic speech in drama schools and the movie stars of the 1930s and 40s, that's what they tried to emulate, that there was a pure, cohesive sound that was what the good American sounds were.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken a lot of hits for a while because you don't want to have everybody be told you don't sound right.
Right.
But
how boring is it, too, when everybody sounds the same?
Well, the idea is that these incredible English actors and Australian actors and actors from New Zealand and actresses, you don't know what their accent is. Because they're coming over here and they're doing American accents, and they sound like they're from Brooklyn. They sound like they're haughty New Yorkers.
Right.
And you don't know what their actual accent is until they're on a talk show, the Graham Norton Effect or something.
Yeah.
And then oh my God, they're a Kiwi, or they're an Aussie, and they're from East London.
And it's always impressive when they can do an American accent.
Right. And we aren't allowed to because we can't work in England.
No.
And our schools have been teaching dialects for years, our drama schools, but we can't go over there and work.
Is that true? There's a law against us working there?
Their unions won't let us.
Interesting.
And if they get a green card or a producer hires them, they can come and work here.
Yeah.
They. And of course, American actors go, "Oh, I wish that wasn't so," because they're taking jobs away from Americans. Well, of course they want to work here. Of course, people from overseas want to work here because they don't have the residual system.
Sure.
They don't get residuals on their television shows in England and Australia. Ours do residuals. The producers would like to do away with them.
Of course.
And the same thing that you don't get residuals, but you get better pay on Broadway. So, of course, they want to come over here and do their American accents and play American characters on Broadway, and we let them. But we can't. We can barely go over there and play an American, and certainly never play an Englishman.
Yeah,
on the London stage.
That would be obscene.
It would be obscene.
You talk about the Graham Norton show. You mentioned that, and
Love that show.
Don't you think that's a show that should be on here? First of all, every time I see a clip of it, it seems to be all American actors that they have on the couch. And it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. And didn't he have a show here for a while? I thought he did.
I've never heard of him until I saw these clips from him.
On Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, everywhere.
Once they start, you can watch, and they're all hysterical.
Every one of them is great.
And I think he's on every night. So there are so many more
That's probably
clips
why.
Of actors we might not recognize because they're on...
British.
Yeah, they're British celebrities, and we wouldn't necessarily know them. But every... big movie, what's it called? The marketing where they go out and get everybody before the award
junkets?
shows. The press junkets when a film comes out.
Right.
I mean, come on. Of course they want to be over there. So that's a show that everyone has because that's going to sell. Watching George Clooney mix it up with one of their beloved British comics.
Dame Edna.
Well, isn't Dame Edna dead?
I think so.
But any of the other Dames.
It's the only thing I can think of. Dame Judi Dench.
She's on with everybody, and she doesn't know who they are.
No, I know. She doesn't know who she is. She's getting up there in age.
But always funny, always a delight.
Sure.
Because I love the way he steers the conversation and pokes fun at everything, has these little bits.
He's great.
And I don't know what the editing process is, but
I've never seen the show. I've only seen these clips.
Right. So what do we know?
I don't know how they edited her.
That's why you're saying we should be able to see all the shows.
I would love to see
we'll be the
those
judge
shows.
of that.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on.
You know what? I think I just need to start to not corner myself, but position myself to be the Graham Norton of Gettysburg. So anybody important comes to town, they have to sit on my couch for a YouTube live stream. And then we'll just sit there and drink wine, and I'll just throw random things at them and have them do goofy things. See, that's the problem is we don't historians are not performers in that regard,
Well, I was surprised at how lively the historians were today when we were shooting this.
There's two things that play into that, I think. It is a different day and age, and people everybody is a performer. Everybody sees, with social media, they after a while, you start to imitate things, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. Like, everybody seems to know how to speak in front of a camera. When you put a camera in somebody's face, some people are shy. You know, there's always going to be those people. But when you get someone who is willing to speak in front of a camera, they're like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you start rolling, and then you ask them a question, and they're like, well, you know, the time we came down through the mountains, we could see clearly through the mist, you know, and then all of a sudden this person's like a great presenter. And they have no experience. They've never had any interest in doing it. It's just that we see it everywhere. The media is everywhere.
Well, with the
phone.
The phone, but I also think with the group that we were working with earlier today.
Yeah, by the way, this is all top secret, so don't go into details about that.
So I'm not going to even mention all the details besides that we're going to cure cancer.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
And I didn't mean to joke about something.
Yeah, that's not funny.
It would be a marvelous thing.
Yeah, okay.
Don't. Quiet, Joe. Quiet. Listen, all of those people seem to be able to get in front of people in a tour, say.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is missing in America. Maybe people will think they're going to be good in front of a camera, but I think what's happening is the spoken word is being... the art of speaking is being lost.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody, young people my age, you're younger than I am, we'd rather text. We don't want to talk on the phone. We'd rather text. We'd rather get it done and not have to open our mouths.
Yeah.
But your part of your living is wrapped up in being able to speak,
right,
and speak well and roll with it. Nowadays, unless somebody has to speak in front of a crowd, they can go through most of their day and not have to speak. And they're losing the ability. I work with young people in the summer. They're there to do Shakespeare. But I'm talking about they can learn their lines and they can sound great, and I help them make sense of what they're saying, navigate the exalted language. But then when you're asking them a question about their lives, they don't know how to answer without, well, it's like, it's like, and then I was like, well, my mom, and it was like, and they cannot form a sentence without putting the padding of like and
Yes.
And that's something that I think the rest of the world, the young people of the world, when they're learning English, are able to do are able to form thoughts without adding like and And what's happening, I believe, is, and I took a couple of courses to get my undergraduate degree recently, in the last couple of years. I think I told you about that in the last broadcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. And so we're hurting now. Our young people are not as good as the other
every other generation
in the other workforce, but also in other parts of the world, Germans, Japanese. We are far behind. We're great with our work skills and our work ethic, but when we have to present a report, oral report, we are inaudible and unintelligible because we cannot make sense of what needs to be reported without adding 10 minutes of likes and no's. And bosses who English is their second language, I mean, the global workforce, they don't have time, and you are not memorable. In fact, you're only memorable in that you're not as well spoken as the German who speaks English just as well.
You're crude.
Or fluent. You sound like a 14-year-old. Pardon my French, but you sound like a Cardassian. And God love them. They're clever business people,
but they're horrible for humanity.
And they're the vocal fry.
Oh, I hate
goes
that.
Up in the end.
It's so bad for you. You shouldn't do that.
Fine.
Stop it.
And so we're losing the beauty of language and the appreciation of language. Is like.
Well, I was watching a documentary the other day. I think it was a PBS documentary about Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. And, they got some actor there pretending to be him, reciting, lines or things from letters or whatever, just reciting his own words. And I'm like, this is an American poet. This isn't a British poet. This is an American poet. And my God, that language is beautiful, the way he crafts it. And nobody speaks that way anymore. And I love
was
that.
It an American actor who was representing?
Yeah.
So was he good? You thought that he?
Oh, he was good. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in American Horror Story. I think he was on Lost. I don't know his name, but he's in a lot of stuff. Like, you would know him if you saw him.
But I wonder if he went to one of the great American drama schools, where you still in the past 20 years he would have gotten a big hit of. It's called Edith Skinner. There's a way in which that you are taught to not twang, to have a diphthong when it's just one syllable word. And there's a beautiful, the dialects of America are beautiful, but they can get in the way and be more memorable than the words. If the dialect is the lead story and not the beautiful words. So that's why you want to be able to get out of the way of the language and ride the language wave in with pure sounds that aren't too haughty or too affected or ugly. Mm-hmm. You know, if there's certain sounds that are a little harder to hear and people tune out.
Yeah.
There it is.
The Boston accent is one that gets me.
It gets me, but I kind of love it.
You do?
Oh, it can be. And I don't know if you've ever been to...
like a heavy one, not like a slight one, like a heavy...
The heavy, and a Long Island and Brooklyn. There's
those are the worst.
But in the old days... people who are on the words could have those, so I was telling my friend, Betty, I said, what the hell are you doing in my sedan? And all over that beautiful upholstery. So there's a dialect, but there's no and and they're on the words, this beautiful upholstery. That's savoring words.
But it still sounds like he's from New York. But it's not.
Right.
It's not a true New York accent. It's
and I'm doing it. It could be Canarsie. But my point is that accents, if people are on the words.
Right.
Now, it can be, because hearing somebody making fun of Cockney accents. Well, you mean the one that's as big as me?
Right. Hello, governor.
And you understand those words and you remember the words. So I'm just thinking that dialects can be beautiful as long as you are articulating. You need the vowel sounds and you need the D's and T's, and they have to pop. And I think that's what, if we savored our words, it wouldn't matter what our dialects are.
Does that come from in the early days of talkies, when the quality of the audio recording wasn't good, that you had to enunciate? Is that where that whole way of speaking might have originated?
Well, if anyone's ever seen the film Singing in the Rain, the character Lena Lamont, and I can't stand him. And they wanted her, because she was a silent film actress. They wanted her to sound beautiful. So that Debbie Reynolds, and I forgot the name, Gene Hagen, had to dub the lines.
Really?
Speaking in the making of this talkie, the first talkie that the studio was doing, and the plot points of Singing in the Rain, and Lena Lamont I can't stand him. She could never make pretty sounds. So Debbie Reynolds, so she stepped in. I forgot the name of Debbie Reynolds' character. So that was the whole point of, you've got to sound good. Now that they're talking,
right,
you have to sound the way Americans would want to sound. So that breathy Hollywood voice began to be very important. And people wanted to sound sophisticated, culture. Okay. And that's where I think all of the pretentious, what we would say, haughty sounds, they come out of the desire to not sound poor.
Like Cary Grant. Was he an American?
Archibald Leach. No, he was an Englishman.
Okay, so that makes sense why he talks so funny.
But your question or comment earlier, stage, you have to enunciate on the stage.
You have to
because
project.
These theaters now that they're miking, a Booth or Nederlander Theater on Broadway, they're built so you could whisper and hear every sound in one of the boxes or in the balconies.
See, that's amazing because before
And now they're
microphones, well, of course, but before microphones, you had to project.
You had to project, but also the acoustics of the stage was built so you could be heard standing center stage or stage left, right, or further upstage and be heard. It's amazing. So we don't need to be mic'd. Now, it's one thing I think the musicals, sound systems, and the blend, because there were always problems in the balcony with Oklahoma with 4 sound systems where the orchestra was drowning out the singer.
Right.
So, but that's why it was an orchestra pit. The musicians were down below and the voices came out over, and so it was a natural blend. That's how it was designed. Opera.
That's
Same
brilliant.
thing.
Yeah, I never even realized that.
Sound guys are mixing the sounds like it's a recording studio.
Yeah.
Live. They're mixing it live.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, but now they're trying to do that with non-musicals. And
what do you mean? Just regular old...
Yes, there's no music
speaking
involved.
Plays.
So you don't need to blend the music with the singing voices. Now they're just miking the actors, and it will soon be where it won't be important to learn how to project.
Right.
Well, I'm an older American, and I swear to you, I am 3 feet from one of my students, and I can't understand a word they're saying because they're not audible and they're not articulating.
Well, I noticed that with a lot of young people I talk to, they all mumble, and it's not me getting old, because everybody I know who has better hearing than me even says it. They're like, yeah, I can never understand him because he mumbles.
About the spoken word is being lost.
Yeah.
The ability and taking pride in, you should need to take a public speaking course. We need to teach kids. We should have a conversation course, speaking so grandma can understand.
Interpersonal communication.
Interpersonal communication, so that you want to be understood.
Yes.
I want you to understand me.
I think it's also that there's an insecurity. Like, they know they're ill-equipped. I'm talking people in their early 20s, maybe they just got out of college, and they're smart enough to realize that they just spent how many years in school, basically 2 decades in school, and they are not equipped for the real world, because nobody cares that you have a degree in basket weaving. You have to make a living somehow. And nobody thinks you're special because you haven't proven it to us. But you've been told since kindergarten, whatever you are, whatever you think is special. And you're not.
It's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
I had an argument, not an argument, but...
It's our fault.
I think so, too.
Not my fault.
Well, no, you contribute every day.
Of course I do.
With your low-quality podcast. Ouch. No, a point that I was trying to make, that we still, American teachers in college, junior colleges, high school, English teachers are still nitpicky as hell, and they savage your papers and the red lines, and even on your Google Docs, they can, red mark it up and savage you. Everything, move here, you don't know, comma here. But no one has been doing that with kids and their oral presentation. So no one is ever saying, Betty, I can't hear you, and I'm right next to you, because we don't want to hurt their feelings.
Well,
and Betty, you're doing that whine, and Kevin, you're going and you're saying like, and you know too much. Stop.
Yeah.
Think about what you're going to say, and then say it. Don't say they plunge, they jump off the cliff, and then they start talking, and then it's like, and then
why do you think that is? Why do they plunge? I have a theory.
Well, I think it's fear of not being heard, and they want to tread water and keep talking so no one interrupts them, because that's also because young people will interrupt each other. No, I'm going to interrupt you. But that's the point. Everyone wants to be heard, and I think that's the American idolization of the world. Where no, it's my turn. No, it's my turn. You don't even know what you're going to say. It doesn't matter. It's my turn. I'm serious. Well, you don't get a turn because I can't understand you, Deirdre. Well, I just come up with these names.
Yeah, nobody's named Deirdre today.
Wow.
Well, I mean, nobody
Take
under
that,
a certain age. Deirdre Hall.
Yes.
Take that.
Yes, Gertrude.
Molly. Gertie. Actually, I met a Gertrude a couple of weeks ago who was like 30, maybe?
Full-on Gertrude? Or was he Trudy?
No. Gertrude. Yeah.
Well, her mother didn't like her.
She was from Germany, though. It was a customer here. It was a tourist. So
the Germans.
Yeah, Gertie.
Of course, Gertrude. That's like their Mary.
Yeah, it is, right. In fact, in the German Catholic Bible, it was the Virgin Gertrude that gave birth to Jesus, not Mary.
So funny. Not calorie.
Hey, listen. All right, shut up.
Bacon.
All right, listen. I got a question though about. I have a question about like and all that stuff. Like,
you know,
and you know, Now, last 2 years ago, I don't know. I bought Eric. I thought he would enjoy this. Eric, the producer. I bought him a dog shock collar to put on me to break me of the habit of saying and like.
Ooh.
But I know why I do it.
Why do you think you do it?
Well, because it's not just young people who interrupt. It's also everybody. So, I'm trying to hold the floor, but I don't have the words yet or the thought put into words yet. And so I sit there and go, I'll do this, because I know everybody else in the room is just waiting for a pause, and then they jump in, and now I'm going to lose what I was trying to say. And then the conversation goes in a different direction. And that's frustrating for the listener. But what also is frustrating for the listener is listening to somebody go like, and that's why I wanted Eric to shock me out of the habit. But he never brought it in.
Oh,
he said, I care about you too much. I don't want to hurt you. And I said, that's bullshit. It sounds like Eric. It sounds nothing like Eric.
Dear fellow.
Yes.
Well, the idea too, I think, is.
Don't worry, guys. I got the Band-Aids.
Thank you, Eric. Go ahead.
Aw, I got the Band-Aids.
See, that's how caring he is.
Very caring. And, of course, I hear that, and with my Shakespeare work and what I learned, it shouldn't be Band-Aids. It's Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
The Z makes it a prettier sound.
Wait, what does he say? Hold on, let me listen.
Don't worry, guys. I got the Band-Aids.
Oh, Band-Aids.
Yeah, it's more of an S. And if you put a Z on it, Band-Aids.
Yeah, Band-Aids
It's a little sibilant. It's not terrible. It's actually, he's got a great voice. But Band-Aids, it's that Z sound is a lot prettier, and you're not going to ever get into trouble being sibilant. This
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
Right.
Band-Aids.
Un gato grande en mis pantalones.
Pantalones, if you put the Z. So a Z sound for plurals at the end, always better, ladies and gentlemen. My point also about the like and is people are afraid of silence now.
Yeah, they are.
So a quiet moment of, I've said what I wanted to say, or I'm thinking, let me answer your question. Yeah, it was and you take the moment where that moment is, oh my God, and you with the little sound cues, oh quick, press one of those buttons and have some pithy
just
little
make some kind of noise.
Because silence becomes something that people will begin to feel uncomfortable.
It's loneliness. So I live alone, right?
Me too.
And
Except with Paisley, the one-eyed dog who's
sleeping on your lap. I don't have a dog anymore. I'm thinking of getting one this winter because it is lonely. Like you come home,
I would have shocked
I wish I had the shock collar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would have zapped that. I mean, he'd still be twitching.
I wish you would. I'm going to get another one and keep it here.
Get me a squirt gun with
no, it's too much electronics here
in it.
Acetone?
Okay.
No.
It burns.
I know it burns.
Especially if it gets in an orifice.
Of course, and we all know our orifices are wide open.
Orifices
are wide open. See, I need to do that. I need to take a class and proper.
Listen, I'll charge you a lot of money. You can take a class.
Great. Sounds great. Sign me up. What do you charge?
You don't want to know.
Is it really bad? 4 figures?
No, $75 an hour. I have an MFA from Yale.
Huh?
$75 an hour.
What did you say after that?
I have an MFA from Yale.
See, you slurred that.
I did because I'm embarrassed. But, your listeners.
Why are you embarrassed? Because you went to Yale?
Nah, there's always that name droppy thing.
Oh, yeah, but you went to Yale.
Yeah, it cost me. I mean, I'm proud to.
You still have an Yale.edu email address, don't you?
I'm going to hang on to that.
Yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't I? But unless someone says, give me your email, it's like, well, do you have a pencil? There's Yale in the title. Yeah.
But you
Maybe you write that in pen.
Do you have a normal one so you don't feel pretentious, like a Gmail account?
Yeah, like an AOL.
No, that's like 40 years ago.
Yeah, 23 Skidoo. I have actually a Hotmail.
Which is basically like AOL. Hotmail wasn't that like right after AOL?
Yeah, but nobody still have it. What am I going to do? I also have one with my josephfuqua.com. There's a info at josephfuqua.com.
Even more pretentious. Well, I guess not, because you have a website.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I need self-marketing. I mean, believe me, I was dragged slowly to the table as far as having all that media presence.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I've got 3 followers on Instagram. It's very exciting.
Well, you need to work it more. You have an Instagram account?
I do.
Oh, let me see here. Let me look you up here. Do you really have 3 followers?
I don't know. I might have 8 or 9 or 18.
What is it? Just Joseph Fuqua?
There's a B for Bernard.
Joseph.
It's Joseph B. Fuqua, I believe.
B. Fuqua.
Did you find it?
Yep. Here we go. You have 90 followers.
90?
And it says you also have no posts.
Maybe I should get some posts. I did have posts, but they don't remain. I don't understand this.
Those are stories. So stories go away.
Okay, how do I post things? Will you teach me?
I'll teach you how to do it.
Okay, because there are lots of things I want to post.
Look, here, we'll make a post right now. So here, watch. I'm going to open up the thing here, and I'm going to, how do I do that? I want to use my camera. All right, so use my camera, right? And then, all right, there it is. So get in the shot there, Joey. Let's see. Make yourself a little more visible. You're a little too invisible. Let me see. Come over towards me more. Okay, there. Good. Okay, ready? And wave or something like that. I'm going to make my stupid face. All right, there we are. And now, so what I'm going to do...
With the dog. We'll do one with the dog.
Oh, okay. Now we got to do a whole new one now because you got to get your goddamn dog in there. All right, here we go. Let's see. There it is. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, so you go in and you could put these, filters or whatever on them if you want to. So I'm just going to make it black and white.
Oh, very nice.
Simple. No, I don't like that black and white. I'm going to use another one. Point is, whatever. So you do here, Inkwell. That's the one I like. It's
Inkwell.
It's not a great picture, but whatever. So then you go. You hit next, and then you can type something here. So I'm going to say recording with JEB Stuart. Okay, and then I'm going to tag you. Okay, so tag people. You can tag someone. I'm going to tap you right there, and then there's Joseph B. Fuqua, and there it is, done. Share, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and then share. Now you could also use hashtags and stuff like that.
Hashtag?
Yeah, but I'll put it up, and then you'll see if you can get into your account, because you probably forgot the password, didn't you?
Well, I'm going to go into my, what are these called?
Apps.
Apps.
Oh, I'm sorry, abs.
Abscess?
Abscess.
Is that short for, and this is, am I tweeting? What am I doing?
No, that's on Twitter. This is Instagram.
I don't like your tone.
You're posting.
Oh, Instagram.
You're posting on Instagram.
All right, I'm going from Meta. What's Meta?
Meta is what Facebook changed its name to in the hopes that people would forget that there are a bunch of evil tyrants who control you.
So there's my account.
Okay, there you are. So what about it? What do you want me to do here? All right, so look. So then up here at the top, you see it says a little heart there, and then there's a little red button thing or whatever. So, okay, there. And look, Addressing Gettysburg started following you, so you're going to follow back because you're a big fan. And a bunch of people followed you, so you should go and look and see who they are. But it doesn't show that I tagged you here, so I guess...
Did it come in yet? How do you...
Oh, because that would be, I think... in your person, yeah, there you go. Addressing Gettysburg sent a post, so then you just open that up, and there's the post, and then you would go in and you would like it, and then maybe share it to your stories, add post to your stories.
But now, if I made that post, it would be forever, rather than a part of my story would disappear tomorrow.
Yes, that would go on your profile wall or whatever.
How do I do the profile wall with that?
Oh, I'll show you later. We're in the middle of a freaking show, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been very boring, but it's very exciting. I look terrible. It's a terrible picture.
But now people can go and look. I know it's not a great picture because you made me take it again. The first one was better, but we lost it.
Well, also that you did the black and white thing, and now everyone looks like it was in the 1950s.
Listen, I didn't say I'm a photographer anymore. I said I'm just
anymore?
showing you.
Were you at one time?
I was, but not on phones, on DSLRs, real cameras.
DSLRs?
I was a disc photographer.
Wow, that's very exciting.
No,
Who
so
knew?
like and all that stuff. Those are crutches. Crutches
and fillers.
And fillers to fill time. We hate dead air. You know who I blame?
Who?
Television.
Oh.
Television, radio. There's never. You watch an old movie or an old TV show. There are moments of silence and long silence. And emotion or thoughts are expressed through visuals, the camera focusing on something, or the facial expressions of the actors. But over time, all those things were cut out, and now everything's fast paced, and you don't have 2.5 hour movies anymore. You have 1.5 hour movies. It's not about story. It's not about character. It's about
it's got to be a grabber, and they're doing that with theater too, where no intermission because people will leave. Yeah, they want to keep them 1:40, no intermission. It's almost perfect. But then Broadway wants to have intermission. They can sell merch and bring them back, and especially if they're charging $150.
Yeah, I'm not going to skip out if I'm paying $150 a ticket.
Skip out, or it's like, wait, $150? It's $1 a minute. So they want to have something a little longer. 2 acts, probably an hour each, hour 10, second act, whatever.
I like to sneak
I'm
in
from
during
the smaller
the
theater. I'm smaller theater. My theater in Ventura, Rubicon Theater, rubicontheater.org. We'd like to do the hour 40-minute because the tickets are sensibly priced.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about, I'm not getting my money's worth. And audiences today, especially coming back after COVID, they want to be in and out. Give me some art and get me out of here. And then intermissions become problematic because, I don't know, you heard somebody coughing in the first act. I don't know if I want to say. So they might not come back. And people don't mean to walk. It's not necessarily that they don't enjoy it. It's that we're playing with fire here, and I think we got enough. So that's why the whole 1 hour 40, no intermission, a lot of shows are doing that. New shows being written and created.
So at this theater, what's the name of the theater again?
Rubicon Theater.
The Rubicon
like
Theater.
Crossing the Rubicon.
I understood. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but I'm helping the audience too.
Because they're stupid? Is that what you're saying? They're stupid?
Stupid. I mean, God.
Now, would it be stupid or stupid?
Well, I do a liquid U. It's stupid.
Stupid.
Not stupid, but you don't belabor it. It's stupid.
Stupid.
It's like new, not new.
Wait, show me. Do that again. Say stupid again.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Like there's a Y in it. It's called a liquid U. I think
stupid.
Stupid. And if you
don't be so stupid.
Oh, Margaret, you're so stupid.
Oh, yes.
It's a little English, but you got to punch it. Don't believe it.
These doilies on the end tables are so stupid.
Yeah, the Duke said you should never be that stupid.
Yes. I think that the way I don't have anything.
That's pretty good. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good received pronunciation.
All right, teach me some accents.
Oh,
do you do accents? You do accents.
What do you want?
What do you do? I don't know. Teach me what you do.
Well, what you do now,
or see how I am at them. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, all about me. Me. The thing now about accents, you could go on YouTube and see you could see 20.
I know.
Yorkshire woman, modern. And you could get some woman, like 18 women, doing, hi, I'm doing the Yorkshire and do it for you. And then older, younger, you get the whole thing. It was a terrible Yorkshire accent, but that's one of the tough ones.
Well, do you know a Yorkshire accent? How's that supposed to go?
I would have to listen to it. I can't pop them. I'm good at accents, but I have to work on it. And then even with learning lines, after the show closes, I forget everything. And I'm making shaking the Etch-a-Sketch. So I don't retain the dialogue.
Oh, when the show closes, not the end of the night.
Not the end of the night. No, that would be terrible.
Yeah, it's like how do you learn it again?
Groundhog Day. That would be terrible.
Well, no. So I know this is.
I think you have a good ear for accents. I'm thinking.
Really?
You popped in a couple of great accents.
Test me on something. Give me some. I don't know.
Scottish. I think Scottish is very.
Oh, that's a tough. Give me something to say in a Scottish accent. I just can't make anything up here.
All aboard.
No. Give me like a
stop
sentence.
Inverness.
No, give me a better sentence than that. I got to work into it here. Hold on, I just got to think of something to say.
Well, think something that Sean Connery said.
I'll take the rapist for 300, Alex.
Not bad. Well, that's a Sean Connery,
but that's an impression of Sean. All right, let me
give you something easy. Okay, Alabama.
No. Go back to Scottish. Just give me something to say. I just need a sentence. Make up any sentence. I can't think of anything right now. Just make a sentence.
I would like 3 pounds of that trifle and 6 pounds of the ground beef.
I would like, all right, 3 pounds of that trifle and 6 pounds of the ground beef.
Perfect.
Nah.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect.
And what was great, here's the thing that was great about it.
Yeah.
Is you just did it.
Right.
Oh, let me get, right.
The God's hit.
And that's what I love about younger people. Young kids, do this accent, do this, and they'll leap into it. They don't think. What happens with grown-ups past the age of 16, we worry about being cool.
Exactly.
We worry about, or being uncool, right?
But I'm not cool. And I know I'm not cool.
No, I'm not.
Right.
And you're making fun of it. Do the fat bastard.
That's what I'm thinking. Well,
yes,
I used to
start. And to do the Irish, you got to start with. They're always after me like a child. Because that's what we know. So you start there and build on it, and then find the spine of the guy or the woman. Do a Scottish woman. Same line.
It would be this. What was the line again?
I like 3 pounds of trifle and 6 pounds of ground beef.
I'd like 3 pounds of trifle and 6 pounds of ground beef.
That's fantastic.
It's
and you
just a
sound
higher
like a woman.
voice.
A woman
Thank
that I wouldn't want to date. I mean, what the hell? What is trifle?
I'm about as hairy as a Scottish woman, too. What's that? What is trifle? Oh, it's no.
Is it? I'm thinking awful. I meant awful. Awful is the guts.
Awful.
We say awful.
Awful. I'll take 3 pounds of the awful and 6 pounds of ground meat or beef. Beef. Yeah, that's it. And then I'm sure if you are from Scotland or know someone, if you've been to Scotland and you've been around it, there's different dialects of the accent wherever you go, like with Ireland or England or here or anywhere. Yeah. So, all right. So the, so accents. Now, how do you learn to do accents? How did you learn to do accents?
It was different in the old days. There was a phonetic alphabet, and you could get your if there was a dialect coach. Most theatrical productions will hire a dialect coach. I think I did Dancing at Lunasa, so I had to have a Welsh accent, though it was a play that took place in Ireland. So there was a dialect coach who helped me. These are the sounds, write them out phonetically. And everything changed once that you were able to get on the internet and go to YouTube and everywhere. Yeah. So you can not only hear the accent, because there used to be tapes. You used to get at the drama bookshop, you would get a tape, a cassette tape that you'd pop in your cassette player, put on your earphones, or listen to it in your apartment as you're cooking dinner. And you'd go through all the sounds, and then you'd transcribe all of your lines with the phonetic sounds. The A sound, you transpose it into the E sound. And then every time you had the A sound, you would have to transcribe it back into the E sound. So that's what you used to have. Now you can go to YouTube, watch somebody, and then do the same thing. The thing that happens is you have to be very specific. You can learn how to say the lines, but then the next time you say another A sound, you could miss it. So it's good to have somebody who's really on you about, no, you missed that sound. And a dialect coach will see the whole act of the play, the first act, and then give you notes. Then the second act, be aware of these sounds. You have trouble with these, and take notes so you can perfect it. Like you're speaking a foreign language.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and it's better to have somebody actually from an Irish person say, this is what sounds wrong to me.
Right.
And so you want to, and then you are working on the accent from the first day of rehearsal. So by the time you open 4 weeks later, you have it down. And so that's how I used to do accents. Some accents I can do received pronunciation. I can do an aristocratic English accent pretty well. I don't need to go because I've done them so often.
Okay.
And I had to do German accents. And there's certain accents I have in my wheelhouse. I find Scottish difficult because I will go into an Irish accent easily.
Well, so I find Irish difficult because I'll go into a Scottish accent.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
So was the Scottish accent the first one you learned? Because you'll gravitate towards the one that you have in your wheelhouse.
I think the Scottish one was the first non-British or Southern that I learned and did well. Better than I do British or Southern. Like, I would goof around with British and Southern. But when Austin Powers came out and Fat Bastard, it was easy for... Because it was... Fat Bastard was always loud and gruff. And that's easy to do. It's the soft...
It's broad.
It's broad. Well, yeah, and he's, you know... What was that one line? He goes... First things first. Where's your shitter? I got a turtle head poking out. You know, and it like gets in the deep throat there.
Do get in my belly.
Get in my belly.
Belly was good.
Belly.
But
Yeah,
my sound was bad.
Yeah, I'm out of practice. I haven't done it.
You're terrible. No.
In 20 years.
But you have it down. But it's funny. You
No,
have to
I had
tweak
it down
those little
better.
Sounds. Sure, you did.
And I used to have. I had Christopher Walken down better. I used to do Christopher Walken pretty damn good. I did that whole.
Shreddy?
What?
No. I'm thinking that's Alec Baldwin.
No, Christopher Walken.
I was thinking of
Sweaty Balls. Yeah, that was funny. No, Walken, I did the whole...
Watch?
Yes, this watch. Your father, Dane Coolidge. I used to do the whole thing, and I did it really well. Like, I practiced it, and I watched it, and along with him. And,
what about Dr. Evil? That's a great sort of proper...
No, I never really got into that. I mean, but that's pretty... How about No, Scott? You know, it's like a...
You don't even know what it is. It's sort
Lorne
of
Michaels.
haughty.
It is haughty, yes.
So it's aristocratic, but there's also those ugly sounds. No.
How about no? Yeah.
No. Like Hoogie.
Is it too much to ask to get sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads? I think that was supposed to be Lorne Michaels. Who he based that off of. And Lorne Michaels kind of talks like this.
Childhood, summers in Rangoon,
luge lessons. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap sack and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really.
There used to be a poster that my niece and nephew had on their the playroom. They had a playroom.
Yeah,
it was in the it was a unfinished basement rec room. So, and they would do that. These kids that were even better. I mean, young
kids
people,
are
like
really
I said
good.
Before,
yeah,
an ear for mimicry.
They're sponges.
They don't care. They are.
But that's when they're young. All they do is mimic. That's what they do. That's how they learn. What are
you talking about?
When you're a little kid, from teenage years, and when you start to develop the adult brain, like all the way through there, all you're doing is mimicking.
Oh, right, the grown-ups, mimicking the grown-ups.
Yeah.
And then you mock them.
And then you mock them when you become more of your own person. You're like, these people are idiots. And then, and then you become one, and then you're
I don't want to be uncool
I'm
like
still
they
cool,
are.
guys. Aren't I still cool? How about, can you do...
Wait up.
Can you do any celebrity impressions?
I cannot do any. Can I?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't think that I can.
How did you guys, when you did the movie...
Oh, here's the one that I can do.
Yeah.
And no one will know who it is, so it's going to be easier to do.
It'll be great.
My brother and I used to just go crazy when we were younger, and this will date me. There was an older actress who was in... I think Anne Blythe. Anne Blythe, I think, was Vida in Mildred Pierce, the bitchy little daughter.
No idea what you're talking about.
With Joan Crawford.
Okay, I know who she is.
Anyway, so Anne Blythe, she got older, and she used to do these Hostess commercials. So my parents all knew who Anne Blythe... Oh, that sophisticated movie star, that's Anne Blythe. And she used to sell Hostess snack cakes. And, of course, she was, at the time, we knew that this woman was ancient.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hi, it's Anne Blythe for Hostess. When my children come home from school." So it was that 1930s movie star, right?
Yeah.
The movie star.
But she's
and
old.
And then old, you're like, "Yeah, your kids. You mean your grandkids." I like to serve them Twinkies, fruit pies, and ho-hos. And she would say ho-ho. And my brother and I would just die like, "Oh, she's so dirty."
I love Drake's cakes. I don't know
Twinkies,
who. What's her
fruit pies,
name? Anne
Ho-Hos. Anne Blythe. Anne Blythe for hostess. Google it. It's funny as hell. God
Let's
rest her
see.
soul.
Maybe there might actually be. You know what? I bet you there's a commercial
On YouTube.
on
right.
YouTube. Yeah, let's see. YouTube. We'll look this up right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see.
Before your very right eye.
Before your very ears, we will look this up. Of course, my internet is super slow here today. So
Hey, can I be on the Wall of Fame?
Oh, please be on the Wall of Fame.
We'll give you an orange marker.
Here. It's a silver marker. Do you want the gold marker?
Yeah, I think I deserve the gold.
Gold. Take the gold. Yeah, Ann Blythe is taking a while to pull up there. So while you're signing that, and we're waiting for the internet to do its goddamn job, what?
I'm over here.
Yeah, I see that. What is? Wait, when you got into show business,
The business of show.
did you? Was it right out of school? Did school help you get into it, or did you have to figure out your own way?
Well, here's the thing. I was in the business. I left my undergrad. That's why I got my undergraduate degree just 2 years ago. Because I left James Madison University to get my equity card, the Professional Stage Actors Union. So I left undergraduate school to get my equity card because I thought it was that important. And then I got my equity card at the Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park. And then I went to New York and did some, that's where I did the musical version of The Diary of Anne Frank.
Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that? So I worked in New York for a couple years, and then I decided to go to drama school. So I got into Yale School of Drama MFA program, but I didn't have a bachelor's, so I was in the certificate program. So I earned, in 3 years, I earned my MFA, but it was earned, not awarded. So they gave me a certificate in drama. So cut to 26 some odd years later, I went back to school to get my undergraduate degree, and then I got my MFA by writing in, paying $100, and I got my MFA.
Okay.
So I had worked in New York before I got my MFA, but there is something that they say exists, and it did. It might still exist. I just am sort of out of the loop. The Yale Mafia. So you go to one of these schools, and because people are impressed that you pay, that you paid all of this money, and all these other people paid money, and it's
yeah.
And so, you must be good. As the Emperor's New Clothes too. You must be good. And I had incredible training. So the one thing about conservatory training is I did 27 plays in 3 years. So just work after work after work after work.
Wait, how do you memorize? That's 9 a year. How do you memorize that many parts? Oh, you're not doing them simultaneously.
Yeah, a couple of them we did.
Really?
But when you're young, that's the thing about building up those calluses. It's like training for the Olympics. You do it because you have to do it. And you're competitive. So it's very competitive. So I got these parts. I don't want to blow it. So I'm going to do what I have to do. And you don't sleep. You drink a lot of coffee, smoke a lot of cigarettes, and get everything done.
Did you smoke a lot of cigarettes? Were you a smoker?
I sure did. I was a smoker.
Good old days, right? Don't you miss it? It was
I
wonderful.
don't miss, because I didn't. I gave up smoking probably about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And then I tried again for another couple years, and I just feel terrible. I love smoking.
Yes.
But the next day, and the wheezing and coughing, I was prone to bronchitis. It just wasn't worth it.
I love the act of smoking. I love the taste of tobacco.
I do too. I love the kick in the back of my throat.
Yep.
And there's something to do with your hands.
Yes.
The little friend that you have.
Feeling full in the lungs and then blowing it out. The whole thing.
Cold, and also the misfits. I even liked smoking when it began to be uncool.
Oh yeah,
because you would be outside in the parking lot smoking with a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, like all the second-class citizens.
Right. And, do I smell? Of course you smell. You smell.
You stink. And you know what the worst is? Like, you have this leather jacket on now. There's nothing worse than the smell of a leather jacket like that with cigarette smoke. Did you ever notice that?
Well, anything will reek of. And you don't know when you're a smoker.
You can't smell it.
And I even would have a spritzer of, I wouldn't buy expensive cologne, of some sort of, 4711, like a cheap cologne, but it wasn't dirt cheap.
Right.
Not like Axe body spray. It was like, someone smells like flowers. Right? Or that's musky.
Yeah. But But you're not fooling anybody when you do that.
And then you smell like cigarettes and a Glade plug-in.
Yeah. You smell like somebody trying to mask the fact that you're a smoker.
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. And it lingers in everything. In the clothes, the dry clean, it's still going to smell. I mean, it takes a very long time. Upholstery, if you smoke in the house.
I remember when I quit, it was like I had, my laundry in the hamper and everything. I quit, and I think I was maybe 2 days without smoking a cigarette, and then I went to do the laundry. That was from, a week or so prior to whenever, and I could smell the smoke, and it was disgusting. Like, it would smell like an ashtray. That, like...
It gets very acrid, especially if it sits.
It's not... Yeah, that's the thing about tobacco. I know. There's I like a cigar. Like a good cigar is nice.
Well, pipe smoke, I don't think it's
pipe smoke. I love pipe smoke, but pipe smoke doesn't smell. All tobacco smoke stinks a day or two later when it's in your whatever clothes or whatever. But yeah, pipe is definitely the most fragrant as you're smoking it. Cigar after that. Cigarettes are kind of gross.
It's nasty, but they're the most fun to smoke.
They are. They're the easiest to smoke. You can suck one down real quick. All right, let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, my aunt used to call them lung biscuit.
Now they're ready for snack cakes. They'd eat them all the time if I let them. When I do serve snacks, I always serve Hostess. Fruit pies, cupcakes, and Twinkies. Because Hostess stands for freshness, they love that moist, springy cake and creamy filling.
Well, she's not saying ho-ho.
Fruit pies,
wait.
Cupcakes, and Twinkies. Freshness never tasted so good.
Freshness.
She attacks that word. I mean, this doesn't talk about like beautiful sounds, but it sounds so
here. Twinkies and ho-hos. Wait,
here. You got to hear her say ho-ho.
Okay.
Hello. For several years I've been telling you about Hostess snack cakes and how much my children love them. Now Hostess has made something new for me. Although the kids enjoy them too. New Hostess crumb cakes. Light little cakes with a grown-up taste. Made with a flavorful cinnamon topping over delicious moist cake. Perfect for coffee time, breakfast, anytime. New Hostess crumb cakes. The light little cakes with a grown-up taste.
All right, so I think this is another one. Back.
Please, Mom. Please, Mom. Being a mother is not a popularity contest. I'm Ann Blythe. And like you, sometimes I say no to snack cakes. When I do say yes, it's Hostess, because freshness never tasted so good. Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh, and that's why they taste so good. Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. Freshness never tasted.
It's like they dubbed ho-ho in there. Listen to the end here.
You know they're fresh, and that's why they taste so good. Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. Freshness.
Right?
It used to be ho-ho.
They did. They changed it. They're like, you sound too evil.
And ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh.
Wait, so there's two here.
Hostess fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh, and that's why they taste so good.
I swear she used to go.
Fruit pies, Twinkies, and ho-hos. Freshness never tastes.
That was it. They dubbed that in. That's not the original one.
I swear it was ho-hos.
Oh boy!
It's like, and we have to redub you because what am I going to do? Sorry, bleep.
It's the way you said ho-ho. What's wrong with the way I said ho-ho?
It should be punch it. Ho-ho. No, not sound it like ho-ho-ho. Ho-ho.
More like Santa Claus. You sound too angry and drunk. Well,
doesn't she look like she's a mom? Look at her.
She doesn't look like no. That's the thing.
Like a grandma.
She looks like a grandma, and also why
is she wearing a caftan? I can't see.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a caftan is?
No. Why would I?
It's like a tent.
Why would she wear a tent? What are you talking about?
The one that I'm thinking of was like when my children come home, and she's in one of those. It's sort of a muumuu, where it's just a big.
No. She was wearing like a nice. No. She wasn't wearing.
Yeah, you don't know.
It's not a muumuu. Whatever the hell.
Caftan.
Whatever it is she's wearing. Oh wait, there's more here. Hostess snack commercial. 1972. So I'm watching these, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, I encourage you to go on YouTube and look up Ann Blythe and Hostess and all that stuff, because if you lived through the 70s, I have a question for you. And Joseph, please answer this now for me, if you will.
Because you didn't live through the 70s?
I was born in 78, so I didn't really. But my question is, when you would watch television, especially commercials and things like that, was it creepy? Because it looks really creepy. The lighting, the colors of
You're watching a tape of a tape, probably, on YouTube.
Oh, it's...
No, I wouldn't describe it as creepy. It looked different than television looks today. It was...
oh, yeah, definitely different. Well, it's certainly not as
early
clear.
days of videotaping. It was not on film.
Right, okay.
So...
Hello, I'm Ann Blythe, the hostess. Here they come, the Twinkie, cupcake, and fruit pie champs. Leave it to them, that's all they'd eat. So I say when, and I say hostess, because freshness never tasted so good as in hostess snack cakes. So moist and creamy, you know they're fresh. That's why they love the taste. Hostess cupcakes, Twinkies, and fruit pies.
Oh,
freshness never tasted so good.
Now,
never tasted so good.
So, okay, now she does look like a grandmother, but here's my question. Mm-hmm. I recently saw this video, and they've done studies on why people from previous generations look old. Like high school kids look old, but they're like 15 years old, and they look like they're in their 30s.
Well, they were probably in their 20s. And then they had a lot of makeup on.
Not actors. No.
You mean real?
Like they're talking like from news footage. You know, they're it's news footage, and they're in a high school classroom or something like that. And they look like they're in their 20s. And if you look back at all the decades before, so now Ann Blythe in these commercials, we're saying she looks like a grandmother, but she might be like 35 years old.
No. She was in a movie as at least a 18-year-old. I think she was an 18-year-old in Mildred Pierce. So that's 1940. So add another 30 years.
All right, let's see. She's born in 1928. Still alive, by the way.
Ann Blythe?
Yeah, 94 years old.
Oh, she was a great actress.
So let's see. 38, 48, 58, 68. She's 40 in 68. So, yeah, okay, she's in her 40s in these commercials in the 70s.
She was a lot older. It seemed to me because young moms, and my mom was in her 40s when she had me, but she looked better than Ann Blythe. No offense, Ann Blythe. You're terrific.
I'm sure she's not listening to this.
Come on. You know she's a Civil War buff.
Yeah, she's a big fan of us. I know that, but not the Civil War.
You're funny.
No, all right. So, I guess, John. So, like, this was actually a serious interview that we did here. We had some serious discussion.
Did we?
Which we're not used to. People who heard. So this time, people got to hear you as a serious person.
I think if there were serious moments, if you gave it a chance instead of just burying it in the vault of obscenity. Right, you buried that interview, and I'm really upset.
I didn't bury the interview. You have to be a subscriber to hear it. It's one of the perks that subscribers get.
Subscriber.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
A subscriber to my OnlyFans. It's my.
You brought her. Subscriber. Come on.
So today, don't say what we're doing, but we went around the battlefield today.
Right, and it's a secret thing
with Brian Mallon.
Brian Mallon, who played General
Hancock. And
Gary.
Oh, right, Gary Edelman and Tim Smith, and it's a super top secret project that we're working on together with them.
Or super.
Super. Can you start if it's a word that starts with an S? Do you have to say Z, or can you still say S?
No, you can't say a Z if it's not a Z at the beginning. It's the plural.
It's the N.
Z.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, books.
The end tables.
Yeah, right, okay. Underwears.
Yeah, I guess.
Who's that?
The telephones.
He's standing there in his underwears. There was a remember a kid in school, he'd be like, there's Billy over there standing there in his underwears. And I'm like, where are you getting that from? Underwears.
No, I remember this kid. Actually, this is my friend's story, Michael Pollard. And he used to tell a story that this kid had a funny accent where he grew up. I forgot where he grew up. I think upstate New York. You want to play football today? And then in French class, your assignment was to translate something that you hear every day. And so Michael translated, "Tu vas jouer au football aujourd'hui?" You want to play football today?
Today? And he would do it in...
Tu as jouer au football aujourd'hui?
That sounds like when you play a tape backwards. Did you ever do that?
You can't really do that.
What are you talking about?
How do you play a tape? My cassette recorder? How am I going to play a tape backwards?
You've
Maybe you
never
could do it reel to
recorded?
reel.
Have you ever recorded? Or yeah, if you do a reel-to-reel. But like, have you never recorded anything? Like in a
Are we
studio?
recording something now? What? My
tape?
Christmas album? What did I record?
Yeah, but yeah.
I didn't record it.
Christmas at the Fuquas?
My Christmas album. Yeah. all the funeral dirges that the Fuqua family love.
No, I don't know. You've heard something played backwards, though.
I have never heard anything played backwards. Could you play something backwards for me now?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I could probably.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, good, because it'll take a while to do.
Yeah,
but I could do it.
We
for sure.
gotta wrap this up.
We do
our
have
friend
to.
John Pinkerton just came in.
And he just left.
I think
Hey,
he took
Johnny.
a call.
All right, have a good one. No, wait, there was one more thing I wanted to say now, and I forgot it because we were talking about whatever the hell that was we were just talking about, which I also forgot. But
Wow.
well, I guess it wasn't that important.
It's been a long day. This is supposed to be the easy day.
You know, I woke up at 4:30 this morning.
In the morning?
I just said this morning. Yeah,
Relax.
4:30 in the morning this morning. And
In the morning?
This morning. And I didn't go back to sleep. I was up. I was like,
Did you have a cup of coffee?
No,
today?
I don't drink coffee anymore
Why not?
because my heart, caffeine makes my heart go pitter patter, and in an odd sequence.
Brian doesn't drink coffee either, and Gary, it's like, oh, my heart, tachycardia.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fatal.
I don't know. Whatever.
Is that what you wanted to talk about?
No, it isn't. I can't remember what the hell it was, but it doesn't matter.
You
It
should
doesn't
take
matter.
notes. Like, give yourself notes.
If I give myself notes, then I find I stick to the notes, and then I miss good things that are happening.
You're not as spontaneous.
Yeah, I'd rather just focus on the person I'm talking to and
Well,
let my
you're
mind
not
go.
even looking at me.
Yeah, well, because you look back. Most people don't look back.
Oh, that furtive
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to look at you.
Right, and then it gets
scared.
No, it's not that. It just gets creepy when neither one of us breaks our gaze, and then it starts
I think it's
to
very
feel
romantic.
Well, that's why it's creepy.
Men shouldn't be looking at each other.
Come on, man.
I mean, not in the eye.
No, man. I mean, that's crazy, man. You know.
Yeah, but I love you, dude.
Now we could
Barry White.
Yeah.
I just wanna tell you, I think you're really cool.
And I had fun on the battlefield today.
Me too.
Joking around with Joey.
And
Everybody thought we were gay.
You're not allowed to say that. Did everybody think we were gay?
Oh, yeah, everybody was.
People were amazed at our rapport.
Were they based at our report?
Yes. What did Jim?
Jim, well, yeah, he thought we were cute together. I think he said we make a nice couple, cute couple.
Did he say
I think
that?
is what he said. Yeah, at
funny.
lunch.
That's nice.
He said, I never really thought I'd say this, but you and Matt make a cute couple, I think is what he said.
Do you know that guy?
Jim? Yeah, I know Jim. He's been on the show many times.
Has he? Many times. Mm-hmm. Is he as much fun as I am?
He's fun in a different way. He's fun in
that's
a
just a dad.
No,
You should have been a dad.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
all my guests the same. All my guests the same. No, Jim is a good guest because he likes to joke around, but he knows a lot about different parts of history, and he has a good way of telling it.
No,
and talking about it.
he's excited.
Yeah. Yes.
By it. That's what I love. I'm talking to Tim. And he gave me some of those great things about General JEB Stuart.
Oh yeah, and we have so Tim. Tim comes on the show quite often. I haven't had him on in a while, and we're actually
Bring
trying
him
to
back. Definitely
well,
talk.
I'm going to. We're just trying to
Especially
make a
after the
date
secret
work
project.
after the what? Oh yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that, I'm sure. But here's some of great moments from Tim being on the show here.
Bullshit.
Okay, there's one. That's him saying bullshit.
What was he saying? Do you remember in the context?
No. It was.
I'm sure it was probably about what people really think about history. It's bullshit.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Bullshit.
It might have had something to do with the Park Service.
Bullshit.
No, he seemed very pro Park Service.
No, he didn't.
Cool. No, how could you? Those guys, the hats, the uniforms.
The hats are awesome.
And they have keys. They open up the padlocks, and suddenly you're in this house with tin
Meade's
cups.
headquarters. Yeah. No, it was the Park Service. I like our Park Service people here. They're cool. I like them.
Well, they're devoted. They obviously love their jobs. And
how could you not love that job, though? You know,
it's more fun than Disney, I think. If you love history, to be, responsible and caring about this is sacred turf here.
I agree, and the.
Do you?
I do, yeah. Well, not only is it sacred turf, but it's beautiful out here.
Oh,
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Especially in October. And I asked, I thought July, is that a big time? So actually the time of the battles were fun. And he said, no, October. People want to come when the weather's beautiful and the leaves are changing.
Yep.
So it did seem, I bet this weekend's going to be pretty crowded.
Every weekend in October is crowded. Last weekend we put on a tour last weekend, and we do it every third Saturday of the month, April to October. And we were very pleasantly surprised. We had 105 people come out on the tour, which is the highest we've had so far. But there were like 40 million other things going on in town.
That seems like a lot, 40 million.
Yeah, and it's a very small town for 40 million.
That's my point.
This is what they're doing, And so there were 200 million people that came into town for all 40 million events.
I don't think you're zoned for that many people.
We're not. But, there's a lot of fields here for people to park in illegally. But anyway, my point is that a lot of people that were trying to come to our tour decided to wait till the last minute, like a week out, to book a hotel room, and they had to go like 45 minutes away, some people, because that was the closest one they could find. And that's the way it used to be in July. But it's not that way in July anymore. I think people just are sick of the heat. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to be. And I remember shooting in that heat.
Oh, yeah.
And that was 30 years ago.
And
that was gruesome. And it's only gotten worse. I mean, whether you believe in global warming or not.
Well, it's whatever you believe it or not. It's hotter. Yeah.
It's hotter and it's muggier. It's not so much the heat.
I don't know if it's muggier.
What are you going to argue? Yeah, I think it's as muggy. And there are more insects? Ever think of that? Ever think of more bugs?
No, actually, we were commenting on how there seem to be fewer bugs.
You were Mr. Everything I said.
You know what, Joey?
I'm sick
Shut
of it.
up.
I think we should wrap this up.
We're probably going to wrap it.
We got a friend here. We got
to go have dinner and everything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our little conversation here about some serious matters. I know all of you are aspiring actors, and
all of them.
Every single one of them. Well, except for the ones that want to be actresses.
The actors are actors. You can't say that.
You can't say actress anymore.
And I goofed up.
Oh.
It's best to just say actors and include all genders and
it's not acting
pronouns.
people.
Act people. I don't know.
Acting people.
No,
we can't.
Their actors encompass everyone
so
who wants
no such thing as an actress
behave truthfully in imaginary circumstances. That's what acting is. You can laugh all you want. God, how disrespectful.
It's just the way you said it. It was just really,
pretentious and haughty.
It was haughty.
You're haughty.
Yeah. All right, listen, Joey, it was great. I'm glad to actually have you in the studio. You signed the Wall of Fame. You did an ID for me at the beginning.
I'm going to underline that signature.
You're going to what?
Underline and maybe put a happy face.
Yeah, please do something like that so people know that you're...
No, I already have the gold pen. I got to outline it in silver.
And silver. Okay, there you go. There's the silver pen.
That's 2 gold pens.
You have the silver pen. That's what you dropped.
I don't want to...
Okay, I'll get it for you so your dog doesn't get squished.
All right.
So anyway, thank you very much for coming in here. I know you're very busy, man, and you have a lot of things to do. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't,
thank you for your time.
Whatever, we just did this impromptu, you know what I'm saying? And I got to tell you, we were...
Impromptu.
Yeah, you should have been there earlier today when we were just...
When we were more fun and funnier.
More fun and more funnier and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Horrendous in our joking. I mean, it was pretty
all over the
horrible
map.
stuff.
Horrible stuff.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you more about.
Oh, offensive?
No, but I wanted to ask you more about...
We had to wrap it up. Well, next time.
Yeah, sorry. Next time we're going to get into... actually, next time, if you can get the cast recording of The Diary of Anne Frank the musical that you were... Yours, Anne. I
sang it for you the last time.
Yeah, but I would like
Yours, Anne. Dear Kitty... I am 13 years old. Seems to me that lately I've been thinking things aren't just right.
But you played the brother Peter.
He's not the brother.
Who was
he? He was the
boy
the
downstairs.
daughter. I mean, the son of the friends who moved in the Van Dans.
Right, and so how come you're singing Anne's song? Do you remember Peter's song?
I tried to sing Peter's song at lunch today,
and
to be clear, I actually was the understudy. and the assistant stage manager.
Isn't that kind of better though in a play like that? Wouldn't you rather be?
I would have killed to go on.
Really?
But and I was going to go on, but
at
show
the
closed.
time, nobody was like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
It was beautiful.
Really?
Some of it was beautiful. It couldn't overcome the Springtime for Hitler. What are you doing? But it was a chamber musical. It wasn't tap dancing. It wasn't big production numbers.
What is a chamber musical?
Well, a chamber musical is just the characters. There was no chorus. It was story and plot driven. So it was very
like one
truthful. One set, you're in the attic. Where else are you going to go?
Right.
And it was right when they are moving in, and it was very exciting. And the music moved the story along. It wasn't gratuitous. Okay. And some of the lyrics were
but there
problematic.
is an original cast recording.
Yes, and I have it somewhere.
You have it somewhere.
The album, I have vinyl.
Do you have it in your home on the East Coast or out west with you?
I think it's out west now.
It's out west.
It's out west now. I don't know how it ended.
Are you permanently out west now?
Well, I split my time between here in Pennsylvania, in Milford, Pennsylvania, and Ventura, California.
Well, now you've told everybody where you live.
Well, the town.
Yeah, but I mean, Milford's not a big town.
Oh, it's a pretty big town.
Not that big.
It's the county seat.
Yeah, well, so is Gettysburg, but I could find you in Gettysburg.
No, you couldn't.
Of course I could.
I know where to hide.
I know every nook and cranny in this town.
Every nook and cranny.
Every nook and cranny. No one can hide
We're
from
never
me.
going to wrap this up.
No, we're not.
0.0.
That's what Anne Frank the Musical got in reviews and stars, right? How do they rate plays? Is it stars?
They don't do stars.
They don't do stars.
No. I mean, maybe some publication I don't know does stars.
But there's no like official thumbs up
reviews,
or stars or...
Oh, well, they used to do the not for plays. I'm trying to think of the Siskel and Ebert,
Yeah, they did thumbs, didn't they?
They did thumbs up. Two thumbs up, one thumbs up. But theater was different. You got good reviews from Pick of the Week. Different publications will do Pick of the Week, featured story, but good reviews, bad reviews.
Do you want to do movies more, or do you like theater more?
I love theater. I'm a theater actor.
So
I love the dough from film and TV, but I'm a theater actor.
Do you like the process of film and TV?
I was lucky enough to have worked early on in my career a lot in TV and film. And I could have gotten better at the process, but I understood it enough. But what I really love and understand the best is doing a play.
Yeah.
Or doing a musical. I understand the rehearsal process. I understand the previews. I understand, when you get a break. I know everything about it. The green room rapport, the dressing rooms, everything. Your dresser helping you, the designers. I know every nuance of what it is like to be in a great production.
Okay.
And even bad productions. It's such a privilege to be with designers because let's put on a show, the old Andy Hardy sentiment, and you do anything you can to get this show right. And it's making art. It's bespoke art. You're handcrafting it. It's extraordinary.
Have you ever seen Waiting for Guffman?
Oh, I love it. And any stage actor, that's one of their favorite movies, films, because it nails it. Especially if you came from where we all did community theater, amateur theater.
Well, that's what I love about that movie is, now I was never into that. I was like movies as opposed to theater, and I never really, did anything worthwhile. But what I love about the Guffman movies is the I had a friend who liked this girl, and she and her parents did the community theater in our town. And so we would go to watch them every season to do their new play because he was, crushing on her and stuff. And also, she was my sister's friend, so I grew up with her and I knew their family. So we would go, and like the director, who was also like the star of the show, every show, kind of reminded me of Corky. He wasn't flamboyantly, lispy and everything like that, but he was clearly, yoo-hoo, and look at me type of thing. And when I saw Waiting for Guffman, I was like, holy shit. And everybody took it so seriously. Like, it might as well have been Broadway in their minds. It was Parsippany, New Jersey. There's nothing Broadway about that. and it was like behind a basketball gym. Like it was like at the local rec center, you know, which I guess most of them probably are. But yeah, everybody took it so seriously, and like I thought Guffman just nailed that. How like, you know, like Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara, the acting couple. That's
the Luntz of Blade.
Yeah, the Luntz of Blade. That was my friend's parents. Like they were like, you know.
Well, it's drawn from life. That's the beauty about characters that everyone can see who's in that world. That's why I love the For Your Consideration, the indie movie, and sort of taking it that seriously. And that's
I love
why
all those films.
That comedy is so fantastic, is because it comes from truth.
Yes.
You know, the best comedy comes from truth.
Yep. A Mighty Wind was a pretty good one too.
I like it too. I like it as much as the others. People say, "Oh, it's not my favorite." Yeah, but if you know that world,
if you get it, you get it. Yes, and that's the thing is, I have experienced or dabbled in all of those worlds enough to get the real joke, you know, and I just think they do them so well,
and it's so well done.
Yeah,
the storytelling, because they're great stories. That even if you're not from that world, you get it.
Yeah.
You get that it's silly. You get like, oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, is this what really happens? And then it makes you ask questions, and you find recognize it a little, because everyone can relate to. You're taking that awfully seriously, aren't you?
Yes.
I wish you'd do some sort of the same kind of indictment on sports. Oh, except Best in Show was a little bit...
Best in Show was... Anyway, we got to get going, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to get going. And so we're going to do that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. And yeah, that's about it. Goodbye. Good night. Good night. Sayonara. Okay, we'll see. It's almost 2 hours.
Our hearts so stout have got us fame, for soon 'tis known from whence we came. Wherever we go, they dread the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead of spa or drink down